What is the distance between a life lived and a life remembered? Between the fleeting moment and the story we later tell ourselves? We left Zurich in search of raw material for memory, not yet knowing what shape it would take. And so it began, not with a landmark, but with a pastry. Bought not in a quaint French patisserie, but in a Swiss café, a small practical fuel for the road. These details rarely survive the editing of memory, yet they are the scaffolding, the timber frame upon which color, story, and meaning will later rest. The border between Switzerland and France is not a chasm, it's a seam, a stitch joining two different fabrics of reality. On one side, order, precision, a masterpiece of engineering. Cross it, and the light softens, the air seems to exhale. Not revolution, just the gentle shift of atmosphere. The road unfurled like a mantra. Green trees, blue sky, the white lines of the highway, pulling us forward. This is the necessary pilgrimage, the quiet prelude before the symphony of color begins. We think the destination is the point, but the journey is the preparation. It's the quieting of the mind's noise, the emptying of the cup, so that Colmar can fill it to the brim. The highway gave way to tree-lined avenues, the lush green canopy dappling the road with sunlight. We passed through residential areas where the modern world began to gently recede. And then a glimpse of the transition, a stately corner building with a mansard roof and harmonious stone facade, pure Haussmann style, a signature of French urban elegance. It was our signal. The car had taken us as far as it could. It was time to park, to step out, and to let our feet guide us into the heart of the city. We parked the car, and in that act of stopping, the world shifted from a panorama to an intimate detail. The first thing you must do in a place like this is not take a photo. It is to stand still, to breathe the new air, to feel unfamiliar ground underfoot. You have to become a receptor before you can become a recorder. The first thing you feel is the quiet collision of histories. Here, a park that had hosted various events, including public gatherings, military parades, and festivals for centuries. There, that grand avenue of Haussmann-style buildings, a clear statement of French elegance. Cross the road, and the world transforms. This is Old Town Colmar, half-timbered houses painted in audacious hues: peach, sunflower, sky blue. This architectural style is the Alsatian Renaissance, characterized by these magnificent half-timbered houses, Maison à colombage. The exposed timber beams are the skeleton, strong and honest. The color in between is the choice, joyful, whimsical, unapologetic. This architecture flourished between the 14th and 17th centuries, built on the prosperity of merchants and wine growers. The colors themselves were not just for beauty. Historically, they often indicated the trade of the homeowner, or were simply a way to protect the timber from the elements. For first-time visitors, they are a revelation. Unlike the uniform stone of Paris or the burnt oranges of the Mediterranean, Colmar is a kaleidoscope, a storybook village that somehow exists in real life, inviting you to get lost in its pages. Wander further and water leads the way. The houses part to reveal La Petite Venise, the so-called Little Venice. The name is romantic, but its history is deeply pragmatic. This was the working-class district of the tanners and fishermen. These canals weren't for pleasure rides. They were the economic lifelines of the city, used to transport goods like leather, fish, and produce from the surrounding farms directly to the merchants. The beauty here wasn't born of luxury, but of utility. Colmar's wisdom lies in its buildings. The beams are the framework. They are the bones, the uncompromising truths of the building. And the spaces in between? They are filled with color. Audacious, joyful, whimsical color. Colmar teaches us that true beauty lies in the contrast, in having the courage to show your structure, and then choosing to fill your life with bold, unapologetic color. From the Rue Turenne Bridge, the postcard view emerges. Flower boxes spilling over the canals, facades mirrored in the water. This is the Alsatian value of cultivation. That beauty isn't wild, it's tended, it's chosen. It's the daily act of placing flowers on a windowsill. It's the decision to create joy, not just wait for it to happen. Just beyond the postcard lies the pulse of the city. Down a cobbled lane, the murmur of voices and clink of glasses pulled us in. The food was a lesson in Alsatian soul. Starters of earthy escargot in a sharp herbal sauce and a rich, smooth duck foie gras terrine with crusty bread spoke of rustic generosity. The mains showcased the region's genius for contrast. Cool, tangy Bibelescaise cheese with home-smoked salmon, and warm, sharp perfection of slow-cooked sauerkraut and savory sausages. Throughout it all, the clink of glasses filled with crisp Riesling. This was the ritual of an Alsatian afternoon, a slow unfolding of time, a deliberate pause to savor sunlight, flavor, and the present. To take it all in, we boarded the Petit Train, winding through streets like an illustrated history book. It rumbled past the Place de la Cathédrale and approached the historic core, the stoic Ancien Corps de Garde, the old guardhouse, where soldiers once kept watch over the market square, and the unassuming Maison Adolphe, one of the city's oldest surviving secular buildings from the 14th century. We glided down the bustling Grand Rue, a lively artery of cafes and shops, before delving into the quieter, enchanting Rue Landec. Here, the true old town revealed itself, a narrow cobbled lane where every flower box and carved doorway held a story, leading us past the simple, serene facade of the Chapelle Saint-Pierre. The journey culminated in the breathtaking reveal from the Rue Turenne Bridge, the perfect postcard view of La Petite Venise unfolding before us, before completing its loop and returning us to the start, our minds full of the city's layered beauty. The ride ended not with a monument, but with a scent. Butter, sugar, almonds. A patisserie pulling us inside, where trays of bredel and macarons reminded us that Alsace has always been a crossroads, where French finesse and German warmth meet in sweetness. Just as it was at the beginning, with a simple pastry, so it was again at the end. Symmetry sweetened. With the train's overview as our map, we set out on foot to meet the city at its own pace. We wandered into the Tanners district, where the houses stand taller, a clever medieval design that provided extra space for drying hides. In the quiet, we could truly appreciate the beauty of this place. Our final stop was the magnificent Maison Pfister. Up close, it looked even more stunning. Now a wine and souvenir shop, it perfectly blends art and commerce. We stepped inside, the cool air smelling of old wood and cork, and left with a bottle of local Riesling and a small can of foie gras, a tangible, delicious piece of Alsace to take home. This is Colmar's gift, to remind us that identity is not a choice between influences, but a weaving of them. That joy is not stumbled upon, but created. We came seeking a storybook scene. What Colmar offered was something greater, the courage to live them, in timber and color, in reflection and choice, in every shade we dare to claim.